welcome back to my channel. Oh, I can't. Okay, it's kind of weird. Okay, so basically, so I have to talk about this. So basically, this is my book. So this is for like, why is this like, they don't, okay. So this is my book. So basically, this is what I'm talking about today. But it's gonna be a whole long series. But just to clarify some words, so scope of today's update. But it's gonna be a bunch of things. But it's gonna be a bunch of things in order. Original here. Basically, I was gonna make this video already, but I didn't make a full video. But this is a video. So basically, here we got something called a QA matrix, a quality assurance matrix. We got true, negative, false, negative, false, positive, true, positive, and false, positive. This is a quality assurance matrix. But it's for tests only. So basically, you got like a true, negative, which means the test is the test passes is true, but the result of the test is incorrect. It's like modeling the question. Am I asking the right problems for this question? It's more than just like a question statement answer. Like, this true, positive, negative. Is this question correct? Is it possible the test of the matrix? The 2x2 matrix, like it's a matrix, but it's 2x2 matrix for quality assurance. That's what I call quality assurance matrix. Okay, now we got it's elementary. For system settings, restart. Okay, so basically I got it all written down here. So the true positive is like true, the test passes and is correct. The system actually actively or passively correct. So basically active means like the system is actively solving the problem. Based on a consumer observer model, it knows to solve the problem. So okay, but basically being a community system based on this project somewhere, but they're actually super secret evolution. But what I come to, but is the kind of long shot. But this is the matrix, so that's it. This one will be like true, negative. The test is true, and it's negative, so it's correctly detected. It's a negative. And then true, and then it's an incorrect result, or correct. It's like a two variant. False positive and false negative. So false, it means like it's false. The test failed, and it's a positive. It's a positive outcome. It's a failed positive. It's positive, but it's correct. It's false, and it's positively matches. And you got this one called the false negative, which means it's false and it doesn't detect the false space in the test you're asserting. Okay, next one. What do I got? So basically this is called something called gating. Something called gating. This is something I call computational cognition. Because it allows you to ask more questions. Basically, it allows you to ask more questions and solve more problems. But gating is like not even the QA matrix. Like based on the gating principle. So, for example, you have like see if like a milestone, X milestone, X Y Z. This is just unit test. You write a code, or you meet some X metric. Just modules only, like C files, Python files. This is what your project you're building. You just create a minimal viable product, proof of concept to try the idea, see whether it works in practice, see whether the system does the job. But you go, then you get better and better. Then you got negative access. But it depends which one. You can be in the red axis or the blue axis. But it really depends where you. Okay, let's put the blue here. But this just means that the system is coherent. Like if I have a red team and they're solving like a hacking problem, and the blue team solving another hacking problem. Then you got two teams doing the same problem, and then you got they have to attack each other, they have to move the needle. They can move the needle problem. So basically, I create models. I run my code. And when I run my code, and someone else creates a model, it becomes a better model. And I do the same thing, and we can attack each other like hacking. It's very good for gating. So gating, really, again, define it as gating. Gating stands for like something called what I call computational cognition. Like cognition means the ability of something to do something. Computation means like problems to solve, like compute, solve. But it's really like a development methodology for continuous integration and continuous development. Like it's really technical specification. So you can have like something called agile gating, Kanban gating. And you can have like waterfall gating because it's really a technique. You can ask more questions, more qualitative questions. Like does this test pass this case? And you can go here and move the needle. But if you're a hacker, so this one is called the Y gate. So this is unit gates, export gates. Like you're a single user, you're working on minimal work on your own project. The Y gate is now called the integration gate. Like unit testing, integration testing, system testing. system testing, like pipeline testing, working with the system, like the system, moving from one phase, actually moving to production. It's like system testing. So integration gives integrate into the system. All the more what's to get to achieve a problem. You build a library, create a library, and that's the Y gates. You go, you build X, you go build Y, you build Z, and the problem is to try to reduce Z to X to Y to C. So basically, making the problem easier for yourself, and that's optimization really works in this model. But that's the gating. So, for example, yes, a good example here. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so that's what gating. So gating is like, yeah. So basically, let me see what I got here. I don't think it's okay. Basically, let me give you an example. So, what I mean that is gate is really infinite. You can gate infinitely, but you don't really need it. So, okay, I'm gonna read it out here. A project has an end date, and a period, like an end period, something to be achieved by time. If you go to github.com/ob next is milestone seed environment. Each milestone is a seed, and you have to read that seed target to ensure that everyone's happy. That's a project seed. It doesn't matter the project anything. You got it's part of the software development lifecycle, and you got operations, which are projects. All operations are projects, but they have a metric. Let me give you an example. So basically, a project is like if I want to build an application, like a calendar system, a calendar suite system, and the system needs to work on Linux and Linux, Mac OS, Linux and Mac OS, and no Windows, because Windows is like busted anyway. So you gotta say, okay, how do I get this? So I do to do. So before I do to do, I then open a gate. So I put in my backlog, my backlog. I put to build this. Let me try to write it down because I'm not gonna rush it. So build this. Sorry, I got a book here. So I got a book here. So let me just try right because if I write it right now, I'll fuck it up. So basically, to do. So I'm gonna try write it down. So my pen here. To do gate open. Gate open. Actually, let me do it the way I know it. Backlog. Gate open. Gate. Backlog. Backlog. I'm gonna just backlog close. Close. There we go. To do. Open. Gate. To do and close. Okay. So can gate. I'm going to just run it once again. Got doing. I don't want to miss it. So gate open. Because I'm running out of space to do and close. Done. Doing. Gating, but because remember, guys, gating is a computational cognition. So, like the ability to someone or something to achieve it. You can apply to AI, any a system that you're working with, human and autonomous. Doing done, and then gate close. So basically, I'm gonna give you the analogy again, but this is the model here. Yeah. So basically, as you can see, this one is like open gate. This like means okay. The backlogs are my requirements, what I have to get it started, get prepped up, reviews, everything. But the open gate is like, what questions do I ask before I put it on backlog? This is an S gate, like a one module to ask with what are good ideas. It can be idea zone, it can be anything. But this is Kanban implementation, so you got to doing done, but done is like out of grid. So the open gate is like, okay, I'm gonna ask a question to build an app, like a calendar, like a calendar suite is not really the goal. Then we think of it isn't build a gating app, but the goal is to have like some kind of way you track systems. But let me think of another app, not like a calendar system, like a vision board. I can think of a website. I don't want to think of a website. I want to think of something new, like something like a 3D website, like like a landing page for no. I don't know get user page. Oh, that's a very old one. Okay, it doesn't matter what you build in the system. You can build like an artifact or library. So you can use it to study, but the open gates are really time boxed too. So I can say here, let me think of something I want to do today on the computer. Actually, let me just give something on mine because I'll use it anyway. I don't want to give you, I want to give you example. I want you guys to try too. So today I have to upload. I have to develop the DSE models, but I don't want to think of that. I want to develop something else. That's kind of complex. I want to start getting something. So what's my objective actually? Yes, documentation. So document migration from GitLab to GitHub, GitHub to GitLab. Okay, so basically, I'm saying that basically, now right here, migrate my documentation from docs slash docs in all being access GitHub repo to GitHub to GitLab to Gitbooks. So this example, this is a practical example here. So I'm thinking of migrating the documentation from all my open access repositories from GitHub to GitLab because the documentation is very fragile. Let's just put it to GitLab and I'll start getting that. So the open gate says like what questions do you want to ask the X, Y, Z, but you can always ask them. It doesn't matter how you ask the questions. It's like because about your cognition, how your ability is. It's like what you want to do. So you can ask like a Z question in the X, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna give you one X, Y, Z question. So for this to open a gate, what do I require? I need to set up Gitbooks. That'll be easy one. This will be an S gate. But then for the Y gate integration, I have to set up documentation repositories. Two, and then 3. And then I have to dedicate system testing after ensure linkable artifacts to documentation. Okay, so but it asked me last more question, but this happened in open gates, but I didn't really ask questions. So if I did anything, so basically if you didn't mind how you, sorry guys, I made a mistake. Basically you did the backlog first, then open gates because the goal is to have the thing coherent, make it more easy for you to do. And that's what gating really is. So it's computational computing, cognitive, the ability of someone to do something. That's cognition mean, like the ability of someone to do. And you got backlog, so open gate. Okay, for me, for me to, what I'm saying is for me to think about coherently, the backlog is there, actually in the wrong place. But how do I set up GitHub to documentation? So my open gate will be how to set up GitHub to GitLab documentation, to Gitbooks documentation. Set up documentation for set up documentation X. So set up documentation for polyglot. Then polyglot creation Gitbooks. And then you can ensure link. Set up so basically the goal is to maintain coherence. So set up documentation for GitLab, Gitbooks, because so set up documentation. So basically you have to move the documentation. Set up links. So set up security, security inclusion links. So the links can go to the right documentation, and that's the Z gate. But the goal is to close it. So now the close is right, just a checkbox. The checkbox I check here. But the thing is, you ask more questions, and the more you check off, shows you more you know. So remember, gating is computational cognition. Like how use this kind of structure, which is like a Kanban gate or waterfall. If you're in a waterfall methodology, if you're into Kanban, if you're into Agile, you're into Scrum, that's what gating is. It's for humans. Uh, it's about cognition, and then you got so basically, the whole point. I'm gonna stop with this video because I spoke about gates. I'm gonna make a new video, but we got gates here. So basically, in a real operation, operations are operated. So let's see, I want to so basically, I'm gonna try to cover the operation is ongoing. There's no end to it until you reach a certain milestone, a metric. For example, the sergeant driver is like halfway, 50%, 45% left. So let's try to cover 95.4% of the side addresses and leave them, and then keep it like that. Plant, reinforce trees, everything. That's the metric for an operation. To reach a target, that's the operation with a project, because all projects are operations, because operations have a deadline. But the operation reach a metric, like a stand, like a new system, and everything, leave the project, everything's done. But your projects, and they're all the same thing. Pump dice, plan the email. Okay, so basically about it's just, but there's some in the directed system operation. You gotta understand that the gating is really a computational cognition. You can get an assistant to do it. If you want an assistant to do it, you don't need to update it. But if you remember active systems, something that's active is doing it based on a consumer observer model. You get a system to do it automatically, and that's what gating really offers. You can to get a task, a new task, something you didn't really think of. Your system no longer static, because you were all humans and we are trying to construct the perfect system. But system testing is coherent, but the system must be really coherent, and that's what it says. So, I was going to talk about this is just the first video on gating, but I'm going to move on to the other one now. Okay, let me just start this video. Okay, like, share, subscribe. Have a lovely day. GitHub.com/obnexus. And try to also go to my OB. I'm going to try to get gates obnex.org for business access. If you go to github.com/obnexus/biz stands for biz, NESS business. It's like that because I'm a Gen Z, the founder. But that's like you got like OpenPR, which is like github.com/open peer review. For github.com/openness patents, and the goal is to gate all of this. So make sure the validation of the patents repository, anyone has to see the patents are doing this properly. So the proof are coherent and the proof works as intended, and it's just like the mathematical rigor behind the proof is solid and the foundation is strong and everything works in the way that the OpenSS site is. But my basically my master's in hybrid direction instruction systems. Or see this classical direction instruction system, and the goal is to gate all of this properly, so I can build something called the directed symbiotic pad, which is or key pad or patch, which is technique, which is like a direction evolution pad. But the gate of the symbiotic, like life form, organic life form, but direction evolution can control the evolution state of the system, based on an active system model that can heal itself over time. It's been a long time. I'll try to go. So let's gate that. But I'm trying to gate the websites. The you can buy the actual my components. My what I want to call like a MMUKO systems, because the MMUKO is like a suite of computer systems that you can swap out to components. You can put on the site, but they're really like computer parts that are active, not passive, and they're biosustainable. They are ergonomic, and they can be built. You can use them to solve problems so they don't decohere easily. But I'll come back to that in my next video. Okay. Instead, okay. Thank you. Have a lot of day, and I hope you guys get hope you guys use gating and you will find gates very useful as I did, because I made that up. It's cognition. It's basically my cognition, how I compute stuff. Reminds me of integration. Okay, help me share this video, like, share, subscribe, and help me grow my channel. So you can go to if you go to my YouTube again, go to more links. The more section, you can find my GitHub, all my social media, my X channels, my Gitbooks, everything. Okay, thank you. Stop.